Hey guys, Red Pit Mining here. Hope you're doing well, having a really great day this video. All right, I got an interesting one for you all. This is a case study done by NiceHash. This is not sponsored by any way. I think this article here this blog post might be a little bit more biased, but I wanted to talk about it here, okay? They're asking, are script miners better off getting paid in Bitcoin? And so the gist of it is that they have pretty much curated a lot of the data since I think 2022 of what if you were just mining and holding versus like the Dogecoin and Litecoin, for instance, or mining into Bitcoin or into USD and seeing which one has ultimately done better, okay, over time. And I kind of wanted to also correlate this to further prove the point in the data in which mining, into Bitcoin was better, okay? I did have an L9 that I got back in 2024, November, and I was doing the whole mine and sell into USDT. And so I kind of want to go through that as well. Also correlating this video with my GPUs, okay? The whole mine and HODL method for GPUs, which turned out to be a really bad idea, okay? And I have data to prove that as well, okay? Over the past like 2 years, that I was doing a mine and HODL test, and ultimately mining into Bitcoin was better. But timing is everything, and there are a lot of reasons as to why mining into Bitcoin was ultimately better. And so I kind of want to explain that as I go along in this video. Where we are, Bitcoin's about $88,000 USD. Whether or not we're in a bull run or bear run, the data does not lie in the current state of whether or not, in terms of dollar value, was it better to mine into Bitcoin or USDT or mine the native coin like, let's say, Doge and Litecoin, okay? So let's go through the case study here right after today's sponsor. Looking to jump into crypto mining with confidence? Meet ASLMiner.com, your gold standard supplier for all ASIC mining hardware. Founded in 2015, ASL Miner distributes top brands like Bitmain, WhatsMiner, Ice River, Canaan, and now they are the official distributor of the new Fluminer L1 Pro Dogecoin miner, Fluminer L2, and coming soon, the Fluminer T3 Bitcoin miner. They have multiple cryptocurrency payment methods, worldwide shipping, and world-class customer service to deal with customs and tariffs. ASL Miner makes the ASIC miner buying experience easy. Visit aslminer.com today and use code RPM for $30 off your order for the lowest priced crypto miners today. Link down below. All right, so NiceHash put out this article back in November 4th of 2025. They're asking here, script ASICs like Antminer L9, Volkminer D3, or AlphaPex DG2 mine Litecoin and Dogecoin. A critical question for any mining operation is, what is the most profitable currency to HODL those earnings in? Should miners HODL LTC, Doge, or sell for USD, or convert everything to Bitcoin? All right, so let's keep on going here. So this is a blog post done by NiceHash here, script case study, HODL coins, sell or convert to BTC. I thought this was a cool post to make a video on. Anyways, the analysis here, we examined the earnings of an AlphaPex DG2 18 gigahash over a 3-year period. Okay, an AlphaPex DG2 wasn't out for the past 3 years, but I guess they took the payout. There is data here. There's a public spreadsheet and everything here, basically looking at the script pay rate, all right, in Bitcoin. And I guess that's how they extrapolated the data for 18 gigahash DG2, okay? Anyways, so they said here they took over a 3-year period from 27th of October 2022 to October 6th of 2025 with an electricity rate cost of 7 cents kilowatt hour. We compared 4 distinct strategies: mine Doge plus LTC, exchange daily to Bitcoin and HODL. Mine Doge and LTC, exchange daily to Dogecoin and HODL. Mine Doge plus LTC, exchange daily to Litecoin and HODL. Then number 4, mine Doge, LTC, exchange daily to USD and HODL. So the results right away. The graph and data table clearly show a superior strategy. The yellow line BTC total USD represents the accumulated value of converting daily earnings to Bitcoin, significantly outperforming all other options. The x-axis represents time, and the y-axis represents the total accumulated earnings converted to USD. So looking at the graph here, okay, so since 2022, if you were to, let's say, just mine into Doge, you can see here Doge in terms of USD. All right, if you hodled Dogecoin since 2022, let's just say all the way up until 2024 of November, and that's also correlating to when Doge pumped up to 46, 47 cents, 44 cents back in, end of November, December of 2024. Okay, this is correlating with this peak right here. You can see that Doge in terms of USD, if you hodled all the way up until that point, would have been worth over 100, depending on what time you sold, 100, 120, 115K. Okay, so a single DG2, if you were mining with a DG2 18 gigahash model since 2022 November and up until 2024, all right, so that's a good 2 years. If you mined Doge and hodled Dogecoin all the way up until then, you would have made out with 115 grand if you sold at the peak. That's actually wild to think about, right? So you can actually see the power there in terms of mining and hodling, okay, long term. Of course, timing is everything, okay? If you actually mine and held for, the past 2 years there of Dogecoin and waited for Doge to pump, which it did, okay? So in that point there, which I don't think NiceHash really talked about here, they're only going from this point on, November 2022, all the way up until 2025. So obviously now, okay, as of now, okay, November 4th, when they made this post, a blog post, you can see that Bitcoin, okay, Bitcoin total USD is the superior strategy, obviously, if you were hodling, okay? This is basically, we're talking about hodl here. But you can see Dogecoin, if you did, sell it at the opportune time back in November, December, right, you would have made out a lot better because now you can see Doge's price. If you're still holding it, right, now Doge, your value of the Doge that you were holding is now, went down like more than 100% here. Here you go, or yeah, 50%. So you can see that, looking at where Doge's price is now, you can see that it has come down a lot over the past couple of months, actually over the past year, right? Ever since the L9s came out, let's just say an L9, for example, which I do want to do a comparison with my L9 here. I'll talk to you guys about this in a second. But yeah, okay, so in terms of the HODL strategy, it looks like mining into Bitcoin overall, as of now, would have been the better bet. But timing is everything. If you did HODL up until December, November of 2024, you would have made out better if you sold, of course, at that opportune time. So yeah, actually, yeah, they have the total accumulated earnings, October 2022 to October 2025. So that's 3 years of, example, a DG2. And you would have over $100,000 worth of Bitcoin as of now if you hodled all the way up until this point, October. So they say here, key findings, BTC versus Fiat. Holding earnings in Bitcoin yielded 225% higher returns than exchanging to Fiat USD. So, okay, this is, of course, equating, back in the beginning of 2022, you were maybe yielding a lot more Dogecoin, then Dogecoin started pumping, and then, of course, the yield that you mined a lot before, it went up a lot, in multiplier, and I think 13 or 14x in Dogecoin price from here up until here, basically. Yeah, from the lows of 6 or 7 cents. So yeah, Doge, obviously, if you mined and held, that would have been better. But yeah, timing is everything. I'm going to correlate this with my L9, which I started pretty much up here when I received it. And, maybe kind of a conspiracy that Bitmain was pumping Doge, and this is why, the sell L9s and also the hash rate did go up another petahash during this time as well. So anyways, besides the point, now the yield, if you were mining at this point with L9s, it would have been a much less. But anyways, going down here, okay, BTC versus Doge, the Bitcoin strategy resulted in 34% higher earnings than holding Dogecoin, the next best performing asset. Okay, so yeah, if you mined in Doge, you still would have done, a lot better. But again, timing is everything. You should have sold it when Doge went up to 40, 46 cents, back in December 2024, right? Anyways, the data is obvious. The most profitable action for script miner was to convert daily earnings into Bitcoin. All right. So they say here, the problem with traditional script mining, I think it's going to be more biased towards NiceHash. The case study reveals the best strategy, but also highlights a major inefficiency for miners. To achieve these top results in a traditional pool, a miner must mine Doge LTC, receive payouts in Doge LTC, send those coins to an exchange, paying a transaction fee, trade the Doge for BTC, pay an exchange fee, trade LTC for BTC, pay exchange fee, withdraw BTC to a secure wallet, pay the withdrawal fee. So they say this process is cumbersome, costly, and requires constant management, which is true, which is very, very true. And, you know, I find value in these types of platforms that can do auto conversion for you, so you don't need to go through all that. Anyway, the solution here, get paid in Bitcoin directly, and they're gonna say try NiceHash. So that's that one. I'll have this blog post linked down below. You guys can read it. So now let me go through what I've been through. Okay, just in a smaller scale. I guess they did on a smaller scale as well, but they did this on a scale over 3 years. Okay, and with a DG2. I wish I had my L7 just, if I actually mine with my L7, just straight Doge, I think I did the calculation before in a video a long time ago. Yeah, it would have been very similar results actually. If you mined in the Doge, it would have made like over 100 grand or something like that. Well, it's a 9.5 mega hash model. So maybe half of that, 75, 60 grand. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so I did a couple videos of just looking at how much my Bitmain Antminer L9 mined for a month. And I did, I think, a 2-month video, but then I did a 3-month L9 profit video. So the first month of when I received it, it was back in December, okay? So this is 1 month of mining with it. So I mined into USDT, okay? I was doing a whole mine and sell method. So this was when Dogecoin was basically at its peak, the previous peak of 48, 47 cents, right? So I was like, you know what? Every time Doge goes up like this high, I'm like, it doesn't sustain at those levels for that long. And I was right. I was completely right. It only stayed up there for a good 2 months. So I was mining into USDT during the whole time. Actually, I'm still doing that now. So first month, it mined $2,141. Okay. And you can see here, then the third month, okay, I've accumulated for the third month in mining with the L9, it was $4,072. Okay, $4,070 USDT. Okay. So this was obviously the better play in my opinion, again, because depending on Doge, which Doge's price again did not sustain at these levels. So if I mined into Dogecoin during these times, I would have had much less value, dollar value, which I can show you guys right here. So 3 months in, since Doge went down 52%, okay, back in March 10th, let's just say here, March 10th, let's just go here, March 10th. Yeah, March 10th, Doge was 20 cents, 17 cents around there. Okay, yeah, 17, so pretty much 50% down. And so if I hodled Dogecoin, right, during those times, it would have been worth $1,956, right? But I was actually mining and selling into Tether, into USDT. So all the way down, like every day, every other day or so. Like I wasn't selling every day, but I was selling every day, basically, every time I got a payout. And so you can see, right? Timing is really everything, right? In terms of seeing how much the value of your coin. If you're doing the whole mine and hodl method, it's great to do the whole mine and hodl method, but only during like the bear market. When it's up like this, like when the coin pumps like this, you mine into the dollars right away because you are obviously getting much less of the yield, and you're also, you know, playing against other people. A lot of more hash rate is turning on, so you want to get out as quickly as possible when the profitability is really good. And so yeah, I explained that in all these videos that I've been doing because I've always done the whole mine and hodl method. I thought, hey, you know, let's do the whole mine and sell method. And of course, timing is everything. I did it during a time when Doge was over 40 cents. That's when I got my L9, right? That's the first time I got my L9, which was like 15 grand at the time. And I did stop the test. I did stop accumulating all the earnings. Something came up. I need to use the funds, and so I basically stopped the test, and I had to put all my miners into one address, mining into one place. It was just too much to keep track of everything, taxes wise, and a whole bunch of other things. But anyways, my L9 realistically hasn't paid itself off yet. And I think now it's been making about, what, $400 a month after electric. After 9 cents, $175 a month. So it's definitely quite the fall from grace from $2,000 a month down to $179 a month now. So yeah, it has not break evened yet. Okay, it has not hit break even. All right. So anyways, so that's one. Okay, so that's the whole ASIC, mine and sell HODL strategy comparison here. Now, I have my GPUs. This is to kind of further the point that mining into Bitcoin was definitely the better play. I forgot to preface that, the Bitcoin dominance has obviously been going up, right, over the past couple of years. So that also plays the part as well as to why Bitcoin has been doing so much better versus if you were to mine Doge or other, algorithms, other coins out there, proof of work coins that are pretty much been going down like 99%, 70%. And this is where I'm going to compare my GPUs, which mining into Bitcoin was, obviously better. So I did two different, one was theoretical, which was buying the coin. Okay. So I had 10 6600 XT rigs at one point, 6 by 6600 XTs and times 10. And they were all doing the mine and HODL method. One was mining into Bitcoin on NiceHash. And then it was unminable into Bitcoin, kapow into Bitcoin. Then I had a rig that was a Lithium and Ergo and Zill, and then had one on Meowcoin, Ergo, Flux, Chlor, Narai, Nexa, Dynex, and Neoxa. And so we did a comparison of buying the coin as well, just a transaction by October 8th, 2023, all right, of $1,400 worth of each coin, just to see, over time, okay, just to see. And I don't have like a nice graph here, like NiceHash. I don't have the pay rate, calculating every single earning from my GPUs every single day. I don't have that. I only have this where I've accumulated and I've held all these coins. So in terms of the value of a lot of these coins, all right, let's just say Dynex, for instance, at that time, my snapshot of this was back in August 24th, 2025. And actually it's probably a lot worse now because Dynex is down 97%. But anyways, looking at the bot coin, actually, we just look at this. You can see that it's gone. A lot of these coins like Neoxa went down 97%. Dynex, 97%. Nexa is down 85%. Narai, down 83%. Chlor, down 77%. Flux, down 65%. Zill, and so on and so forth. You can see that Lithium's kind of a little bit of an outlier. I know people are going to say, how come Lithium's only dropped 19%? Well, when we bought Lithium back in October 8th, this was when we literally did a theoretical buy October 8th when Lithium was 14 cents pre-pump back in 2023. So that's why. And then the legendary pump to $4 happened, and now it's back down to pretty much where we bought it, actually. That's actually really funny. That's actually really funny to look at. Oh my goodness, that's actually really funny. But so yeah, you guys understand that. So, but look at this. If we did a $1,400 buy in Bitcoin back in October 2023, you can see here that the bag is up 215%. So Bitcoin has ultimately been the better play because it's always been going up, right? Generally. And altcoin dominance, right? It's just been going straight down, right? Because Bitcoin dominance has been going up. So now if I were to compare to my mining and HODLing method with the GPUs, you can see here the Tower 08 was the NiceHash Kapow rig, and that one mined about $1,400 in Bitcoin. Actually, almost pretty much paid itself off, actually, if I was mining and holding, which I did, and it actually paid itself off back in October 24th, 2025. I think it broke even faster because I'm still hodling this Bitcoin, and it went up to 2,000 back in October when Bitcoin went to 125K. So yeah, mining into Bitcoin, it was much better. Each of these rigs were about $1,400 investment each. So yeah, you can see now if I mine straight into Chlor, I only mined about $196. Narai, $24 worth. Nexa, $145 worth. Neoxa, Yeah, so on and so forth. You can see the damage here. The value of mining and hodling, a lot of these coins just never went up. None of them never, 5x, 10x, 100x. And you may see here a previous all-time high column right here. And this is where, yes, altcoin season hasn't happened yet. Do I believe it's coming? I don't know. I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no. Nobody knows. I hope it does, obviously. I'm still holding all these coins for these GPUs. And yeah, it's pretty depressed, right, to see all the prices of these values go down to nothing. And obviously spent a lot more in electricity, actually. I forgot to mention that. My electricity usage is way up there, right, above what I've mined over the past 2 years, 3 years. With these GPUs. So I'm still in the red, obviously, $5,000 in the red, or in the hole altogether. With the investment of the rigs would be $16,696. But I still have the hardware. I still have the GPUs. I could sell the power supplies. And so the rigs value, I mean, we're still in the red, actually, because we've been using more electricity than what we've earned in terms of the dollar value here. All right. So anyways, yeah, okay. So this case study that NiceHash did and the tests that I've done, mining into Bitcoin, mining into USDT, mining into altcoins, it does goes to show that at this point in time where we are in the market right now, okay, that going into Bitcoin was the better play if you were hodling up until now. Of course, there's going to be, if you're mining altcoins, let's say Doge, and you sold at the peak of 46 cents, that would have been better. And you sold, that would have been better, right? Obviously, timing is everything, okay? And if you can sell at certain points, certain peaks of when coins go up, that's great, right? That's how a lot of people make their money, right? Mining and holding and waiting for the coin to go up. That's a very valid strategy. But I think holding into Bitcoin is also a very valid strategy, but also considering the Bitcoin dominance as well. All right, so a lot of different strategies out there. I don't think we can really pinpoint which one would be the best, but you guys let me know. Let me know if you made it to the end of this video. It's probably a lot longer. Just add hashtag Bitcoin in the comments if you made it to the end of this video. And let me know your thoughts of which play has been great for you guys. Have you maybe mined into Bitcoin, or have you just been selling every day? Or have you been holding the native coins, whether that's going to be Doge, Litecoin, or any other proof of work coin out there? Probably not. Probably not. But just let me know down below which strategy has worked out for you guys. And yeah, I'm going to say timing is everything. There's going to be opportune times to sell at certain peaks of when coins go up. Yeah, I think I explained it pretty well. But if I missed something, you guys let me know. All right. So hashtag Bitcoin and let me know your guys' thoughts. All right. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace out. Peace out.